So we're going to focus on a manual transmission now. This is a solid flywheel. It's not thin like our flex plate, so it's really thick. And we've got a flex plate on top of this, and inside there's a clutch disc. And this clutch disc will either be pressurized with the plate when it locks this into place, or it will spin freely based upon you pushing the clutch. If you push the clutch, this is going to be free, that clutch disc between the pressure plate and the flywheel. If we let off the clutch, then it's going to clamp down and it's going to move as a whole unit. So this clutch is attached to an input shaft, and we have this installation tool when we put a clutch in, representing the input shaft. So that input shaft on this transaxle is right here, just like we had on our automatic transmission. And the input shaft is then taken in to a gear assembly, and this is a manual transmission. So you can see this input shaft is here, and we have an output shaft on this side. This is an output. So input, output, and then right here is that differential assembly included with the transmission, and then our CV axles are right here going out. So the CV axle right here would be splined inside of this and deliver power to our wheels. This is splined to our wheel. So as this spins, it's delivering power from our transaxle to our wheel assembly through the CV half shafts. Okay? And these CV half shafts may have an intermediate shaft like this with a little carrier. Maybe they're longer like this, or maybe they're both the same size. Okay, so that's the power transflow from input to output. Now when we select gears, these little synchronizers will move with this shift fork. This is a shift fork, and the synchronizers move back and forth to engage the gears and lock these gears that are always in contact with each other. So as we move this way, it's going to lock this gear with this gear. If I move this synchronizer this way, it's going to lock these two gears. If I move this synchronizer this way, it's going to lock these two gears. Okay? So if I move this one here up, it's going to lock this gear with that one inside of there. And if I'm going to pull down, it's going to lock with this one in reverse. So you can see on this rear wheel drive, we have the same, but this one is an input and an output shaft. This one, the input shaft stops right here where my finger is. And then this output shaft, the very edge here, that goes to this, starts here where the gears are, and we've added a counter shaft here. This is a counter shaft to the side, very similar to our input and output shafts, but we changed the gear ratio. So this is a rear wheel drive with a counter shaft, and when we move these synchronizers back and forth, we lock this gear now to this gear, or we move this synchronizer this way. So I can get it to move here. Okay, that locks this gear with this gear. And that's changing the output speed based upon what gear is engaged and what gear is not engaged. Okay, so this one would be the same. We would input this gear to that gear, and then we would shift this And we'd move this one back to engage this one with this one with this one, or this one with this one. So this is a 3-speed with reverse. So this is an old 3-speed transmission with reverse, and the synchronizers is what's locking the gears in place.